The other topic I'd like to cover is the ENS, the Ethereum Name Services that was rolled out recently. Could you just talk about what it is we're trying to achieve with the Ethereum Name Services and how you see that benefiting the Livepeer ecosystem? Yeah.
Yeah, I can elaborate a bit on this because it's something that we discussed at length, both internally and with community members. This is something that definitely didn't happen in just like in behind closed doors. So the gist of it is, first of all, the existing 3box implementation, like 3box is like very much deprecated. It is no longer a workable service, like period. They've disabled write access. Reading it is a pain and impacts the performance of the Explorer, or it's just no longer a workable option. And so then that raises the question, like, okay, well, A, if people literally can't update their profiles, that's a massive problem. But B, knowing that, what options do we have to replace it? Something that I'm particularly concerned with ENS is the fact that you do have to pay for them. Now, there are some places where you can get free subdomains and for just the cost of gas, so that helps a little bit. But the reality is that there are not a lot of other mature identity solutions out there. There are some that are getting better, but the community, the Ethereum community, and really the crypto community in general, hasn't really coalesced around any given identity solution other than ENS. And really, like my intention in terms of the product development of the Livepeer Explorer is to at some point enable an additional identity solution, whichever becomes the community standard. But right now, it was just like we're sort of between a rock and a hard place. It's like, do we just leave the status quo where people can't update their profiles? Or do we implement a solution that, while it may not be perfect in terms of cost, at least gives people a good option to update their profile and is significantly better for the performance of the Explorer? So I'm happy to answer any more questions on this, but that's the gist of the thinking.
Do you know, they were saying that Arbitrum or ENS is looking to support Arbitrum, and that way you can get it on the side. Are you aware of any time frame that they've mentioned regarding that?
I don't think they've committed anything publicly. I just know that they have said repeatedly over the course of the last few months that they are working on A, off-chain resolution, and B, L2 support, both of which would be really helpful in terms of the cost that you all bear.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a comment, I think in general, these are probably items on your roadmap that's going to pop up as the world evolves, right? This stuff's really immature, so you're probably going to be coming up with a new implementation down the road. I don't know when, but as fast as the industry changes, we'll be having to keep up.
Exactly, and thanks for that perspective, Mike. Because I think that's exactly what we're dealing with. If the question is with implementing any third-party provider in this ecosystem is, well, like, is it mature enough? How much potential tech debt are we incurring if they just disappear and the devs stop working? And I think on the balance of it, ENS was the best option here, at least right now.
Is there a plan to implement the nickname, title bar, profile name into it? Because right now we are all .eth domains. And when I created my tutorial, there's a section called notice, and I thought that might be a good spot for a profile name. Do we plan on adding a profile name so we can modify that?
That's a fair question. I think that's something, if you could create an issue in the Explorer repo, that we'd be happy to evaluate that. I think it makes sense if that's preferable. Yeah, that's the best answer I got there.